Apostolic Game Designers.
Hey guys, welcome to another video tutorial, and I'm not going to give a long boring intro for this one. We're simply going to be learning how to add text behind objects in Photoshop, like in this picture right here. So let's go ahead and get into this. So inside of Photoshop, I have this photo here. I don't even know what it is. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be selecting this floating island right here. We're going to be adding some text behind it. So the first thing you want to do to add text behind objects is, first of all, select your layer right here on the lower right. Right click on that and hit duplicate layer. And if you want to rename this, you can. For example, I had my caps on wrong. So we can name this foreground. And then, so we're basically, what you want to do is make two layers and take the top layer and cut out everything but the part that you want to be in front of the text, and then let the bottom layer be everything you want to be behind the text. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to hold down Alt and then zoom in with my scroll wheel. I can also hold down Control and scroll to pan left and right. So what I want to do is select this hill right here on the top layer, and to do that, the first and one of the easiest ways to start a selection is to go right here to this tool called, this one, fourth one down, called Quick Selection. Left click on that, or if it's not selected, right click and hit the Quick Selection tool. And if I click and start dragging, what it does is it causes Photoshop, causes Photoshop to basically guess what part of the picture we're trying to select, and it selects all pixels of the same color in the area. So since a lot of these are brown right here, if I click and drag, it's going to select most of the building. So you see right there and then, it actually did a really good selection. And you see it's not perfect like some of these parts of the gear. So normally when you do the quick selection, that's just the first step. And then what I like to do is go right here to this item right here, the third one down, called the polygonal lasso tool, and I can show you how that does. For example, we don't want this part right here in this selection. We want this to be cut out so that if the text is behind it, it will show through the gear. So to do that, make sure on the top left here, you have this icon selected, and that means anything that we select will be subtracted from the selection. So to do that, simply click, and then you don't have to drag or anything. If you just move the mouse, it will just make this line follow it. So just click, and then basically just do a selection around the area you want removed, and then make sure you move the mouse to the beginning of where you begin the selection and close it off. And you see now it removed this from the selection. And I can show you how this is going to work. So if I go right here to the lower left and hit this eye icon, that makes it so you can't see the background layer. If I hit up here, select and mask, you see what we're doing. We're selecting this island so that it is the only part of this layer, of the top layer, that we're going to delete everything else from the top layer. So hit cancel right now. So what we're going to do is, basically in all these gears, we just want to cut out this part of the selection that we don't need, that we want removed. We're not going to worry about this, like the bottom part, too much though, because the text, I just want the text about halfway up the island. So everything down here, the text isn't going to be behind it, so we don't really need to worry about it that much. Let's try this right here. Just do a quick sloppy selection. You can go a lot more in detail than this, but since I'm recording a video, I don't want to keep it too long. Obviously want to keep it as short as possible. Okay, so I fiddled around with this selection a little bit more. I didn't do every single little nook and cranny, but for demonstration purposes, I think this looks pretty good. Now, one thing you can do is you can go right up here to the top left and hit this icon right here. Now, anything we select will be added to it, and then you can play with some of these gears that weren't the gear portions. Oop, I can't. This is something you wanted to having trouble finding where your selection started. And you can select some of these gear pieces that weren't selected properly. But I think for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to mess with these too much, because just for a quick video tutorial, I don't want to get too much in detail. So obviously, like, yeah, if you're working on a thumbnail or something, then you would want to go more into detail. But I mean, just for a quick tutorial, this should be pretty good. Once you have everything that you want selected, also let me just select this really quickly. Ooh, there's like this cloud right over it. I'm going to do that selection really quickly. Boom. So once you've got all that selected, You can touch it up anymore if you want to, but go ahead and up here, hit the select and mask. And not much really needs to be changed. You can smooth it out if you want to a little bit. This will smooth out your selection. I wouldn't do too much, maybe just like 1 or 2. Then feather, you can soften the edges a little bit. I wouldn't advise doing that too much with trying to do this type of work with it. But the main thing you want to make sure you do is just scroll down here and then make sure go down here to output settings, select output 2 and hit layer mask and hit OK. So now, of course, since we have the background hidden, it's not going to show. We can just hit the I button and show it. So now we have 2 different layers. One is this, which we want to be in front of the text that we add, and then we've got beneath it this layer here, which is what we want to be beneath the text that we add. So let's go ahead and add some text and see if it works. So go down here to your text tool, just click and drag, and type in something random. Help me. And then we can drag it to where you want it. Now, first of all, that's not the look we're going for. It's just in front of everything. So just go here to the bottom right, click and drag it beneath the layer that we want to be in front of it. What am I doing wrong? Okay, there we go. So we want this layer to be on top. And now you see we have the beautiful result that we're going for. The text is actually behind this island. That is so cool. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's like, I don't know what to say. It's so cool. So you can play with it. You can touch up your selection some more if you want to. That's a really quick and easy approach to add text behind objects in Photoshop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video tutorial, and hopefully we'll be able to start doing weekly uploads on this channel. We'll see how that goes, because I'm kind of dealing with a really busy schedule, but we've been actually getting some really good reception, some decent views on the channel, so that's encouraging me to upload more. Thank you guys for watching this video. Keep working hard with your Photoshop, doing all that cool stuff. I'd love to see like any work you got that you did following our tutorials, or just want to share it with somebody. Thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned.